Hello and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Winona and this is Off the Record. And I'll be playing actually one of my NPCs. It's a Chief Luma. I like this moth. He's a good moth. And today I'll be playing with the wonderful, amazing, talented.
Hello, I am Oatmeal. Thank you, Winona. And today I'll be playing the professor.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Who Chief Luma has been trying to figure out ever since the dragon incident.
Uh,
Yeah. Basically, the build up to this FPS is that say Chief Luma has been trying to keep an eye on everyone ever since he realized, oh, this case has gone deeper than he would have liked it to. It's more than just embezzling a lot of money and stuff. It has
mhm,
to connect to a more serious case. So lately, he's been trying to make sure to keep an eye on all the people that were involved in the dragon case, including this
mhm.
so called professor in quotation mark. And he has been given bits and pieces that he can find on his own about this guy. He is not very sure about this guy. He seems to be generally good, but he's also connected to some crime, but at the same time, it's just like only a little bit. So he's just like trying to figure out this guy, and it's come to the point where he basically begs Scribbles to say, please, just send this guy my way. I just need to get him on the record. And
Yeah.
yeah. And
But
Scribbles is just like, all right, I will try to get him to talk to you, but there's no promises with the professor, and that's all I can say about him.
uh-huh.
So yeah, Scribbles did talk to the professor. He's like, hey, can you just meet Chief Luma? He's just been, well, nervous about everything that's happened with the dragon and everything, and he wants to try to keep tabs on everyone. Can you at least? I know you don't have to say everything, but can you at least go over and calm his mind just a little bit?
hmm Yeah, and he does heed the word of his friend Scribbles because he does value his opinion. But he probably does not visit within the next week or the next 2 weeks. He probably does some stuff in between and takes his own sweet time.
As
Um,
the professor usually does.
yeah. So, there's whether or not you're like is still like watching for this guy is up to you. 'Cause it's been a hot minute. It's like, oh, maybe he's just not. But but he does, um, eventually. Uh, while since the ellipsis at this point in time uh is under some repairs, he just takes the teleportation circle, he's been doing a lot recently, um, from Villestown, to uh University City.
Yeah, and Scribbles has made sure that you know where you're going to find him. Basically, he is near the downtown area of University City in what looks to be more of a historical building. There is even
Mm.
a plaque that sort of says first say police office in the city.
Hmm.
And when you walk inside, there's definitely has been upgrades. Like there's parts of it that does like actually like a police station, but there's also very much it has been sort of redone to have like marble floors and everything to be
Mm.
more say it looks like this is more of like an office building than a police station.
Hmm. Yeah, it's on the fancier side.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And what time of day are you going?
Oh, that's a good question. Uh, man, hmm. I kind of want to uh, set a mood. So I don't know, maybe it's like 4 p.m. Like it could start getting dark, but for now it's just the afternoon.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do it later in the evening when it's starting to get dark.
Hmm.
Yeah, and by this time, people say not many people are in the say in the police station. It's getting late. Usually a lot because a lot of this is like offices. Is
Hmm.
say there say a lot of people have already gone home for the evening.
Hmm.
However,
Hmm.
as you walk in, you see a circular front desk with a little old lady, a toon lady, is a manning it.
Uh-huh. Um, what is beyond the desk that he
Beyond the
can
desk
see?
looks to be like different hallways. There's a staircase to like upper floors and
Hmm.
everything.
Oh boy. If there is a um uh if he can just go like past or around the desk, he's just gonna walk with purpose towards one of the hallways.
Are you trying? Are you just say? Are you making a stealth? Or are you just walking past?
Just walking past. This is like an I belong here. I'm just going where I'm supposed to go. Uh, purposeful walk.
You'll hear a excuse me, sir.
I think he's going to keep moving but turn around. Yes.
Can you come back here, please? We say I if you're going to meet someone, I need to sign you in.
Oh. Well, all right. Um, yeah, he'll stop and come back over.
What's your name, dearie? As she looks through a little Rolodex.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm the professor.
Professor Who?
Just the professor.
She sort of adjusts her glasses and then goes from a Rolodex to some pads of paper and starts flipping some stuff. Oh,
Uh-huh.
are you friends with Scribble Scrambles, perhaps?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, good. The chief has actually been waiting for you, darling. As she like, as you can see her like looking at one particular sticky note.
Yeah, he just grins.
Give me 1 second and make sure he's in his office, dear. As she like picks up a little rotary phone and just dials in something, and you hear her talking a little bit, like
Mm-hmm.
whispered murmuring, and she sort of gives a little nod and hangs up the phone. Yes, the police chief is within his office. And say you can go on ahead, and she then gives you directions to his office.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And
Yeah, he'll head over.
yep. And you go down the hallways to the police chief's office where you see say where you get in front of the door that has a name plaque that says is a police chief Arthur Luma.
Mm-hmm. Um, he's not going to knock. He's just going to open the door.
Police Chief Luma is sitting at his desk. It's definitely more a sort of a nicer office. It's a nice heavy wooden desk. There's family photos behind him along with rewards and everything. There's also seats in front of him, of course. They look very plush. This is
Hmm.
definitely what you would think for like an office for the police as the chief of police.
Hmm. Hmm.
He does give an eyebrow raise. It's just like usually people knock.
Well, I'm not very usual. He does sort of like lean on the door frame and smile cheekily.
Hmm. He sort of just puts some paperwork down that puts a pencil down in some paperwork that he was like working on. Well, you may.
Besides, you know I was coming.
I was hoping you would have come sooner than later.
Hmm, was a little busy.
Well, better late than never, they say. Come in, please close the door.
Mm-hmm. And he will do that.
He then waves a hand to one of the seats.
Uh, he is going to sit in it sideways, with his legs like hanging over the armrest and just sort of like twisted to face um the chief with his arm over the back of the chair.
Professor Luma sits back and he's just a general vibe check. Just mainly says like, "Oh, you're a cocky bastard, aren't you?" As
Yeah.
he gets out another pad of paper, a blank one, and a pen. So the first thing is say, first of all, thank you for coming.
Hmm,
Second of all,
sure.
second of all, I came here for you specifically to get some general information. Unfortunately, this case runs a bit deeper than I hoped it would, and I prefer to have contact information and where you habitate, or at least the general area where you habitate,
Hmm.
written down for the record.
This is the Umbra case.
Yes.
All right. Well, where I habitate. Uh, I'm a bit of a wanderer, so I don't exactly have an address.
He writes this down. So, is it say? So, are you the adventurer type?
Oh, yes.
And he sort of makes a little note underneath the wanderers, like adventurer.
Hmm.
What would be the easiest way to contact you then, Professor? Also,
Mm.
what is your surname and first name?
Oh, haven't got those. I'm just known as the professor.
He raises an eyebrow. That's highly unusual for one of your race.
He just sort of like tilts his head. Eh, well, where I come from, that's just the culture. It's a bit different.
Hmm. Are you not from Inkwell then?
Oh, from Inkwell, no.
Out of curiosity, where do you hail?
Falagray, pretty far away.
Faligray. As he cocks his head now a little bit. I have never heard of that country.
Yes, well, uh, they don't, people from there don't really get around. I'm a bit of an exception, so most people haven't heard of him.
Hmm. What continent is it on?
Which continent?
Yes.
Hmm, Furuma.
Buruma. He gives a little he makes a little note of this. Though I say I'm not very sure if you'll ever go back there. But again, this is just for the record and everything.
Sure.
Why the professor out of curiosity? Do you teach actually say when you were living in your home country?
Uh, in a manner of speaking, yes. I did teach many people.
What was the subject?
Oh, all sorts. horology, planar research, uh, basic writing and arithmetic.
He gives a little.
Depended what was needed.
I see. Interesting. As he writes this down too. Out of curiosity, I have looked a little bit into you, and it seems
Mm.
like you have been in contact with some other police officers in different cities. Mainly, it looks like he sort of flips through his notes as my brain blanks for a second.
No, it's okay.
Villetown, Villetown. That's the word I was looking for. He said mainly in Villetown.
Hmm. Mm. Less with the police and more with the local detective agency. But yes.
Do you have say is there a detective that you hang around with more than others?
Hmm. I not really.
Or maybe I should just be general and say, which detectives have you worked with in the past?
Gosh. Um, quite a few. Uh, well, hmm, there's Sammy and there's uh well, his name tends to be redacted because he's a minor. So that one, the hmm, child detective of Villestown. Let's see. There's Detective Izumi and Detective Moria and Private Investigator Tome.
He nods along with this and writes all this down. I have
Uh,
heard of Moria's work. Very interesting case that she is on.
oh yes. Oh, also Detective Shannon. That's right. Nearly forgot. We haven't met much. A little bit.
He gives a nod and writes the name down too. Detective Shannon. Out of curiosity, have you ever worked with a Detective Lynn Stagehand?
Oh, worked with her, no. I've heard of her. Um, but no, I don't think we've actually met.
Hmm. You can make an insight you want as he just gives a little nod and writes something down.
I would love to. That is a 16.
With his 16, you could tell that to say he was trying to judge you about something, but you're not for sure. Like he was
Mm,
gonna go on a he was gonna probably go on to something, but he decided not to since you haven't actually met the detective.
interesting.
Tell me,
Hmm.
how say what have you heard about the case? Have your compatriots been keeping you within the loop?
Well, I know that um I know that um the former headmistress, Umbra, was first, I think, was it found dead, and then it was revealed that it was actually um something about she only knocked out and then the body disappeared or something.
Yes. Apparently there was a switcheroo with a clone spell. Made her appear to be dead when in actuality that wasn't her true body at all.
And she had been taken away. I see. That's right. It has been a while. Um, and then something about something about the ichor that was found there. Um, came uh came from Umbra and that pendant she had.
Yes. It was deduced that it was Uramajike blood. However, it had been twisted.
Hmm.
With reelkind and Toonkind blood, it seems like.
Mm. Always interesting when those mix.
Yes. It was not stable from the report that Crystal Issei gave me.
Right.
He's writing this all down,
Hmm.
and you can make another insight.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that is 19.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell he's judging how much you have been known and been told about this case. And you
Hmm.
get the feeling that there's a purpose for that. Like he's trying to judge is say he's not you don't you feel like if you want to get more out of this guy, you'll have to talk to him because he's obviously hiding some stuff. He's it's saying the silence that he's had speaks in volume in words.
Hmm. So it seems like there's a fair bit that uh, you know that I don't.
Yes, more things have been discovered, but I feel like it's to your benefit that, at least for right now, since you do not frequent University City for a while, it may be better not to tell.
Hmm. Uh, let's see. Okay, yeah, Professor, I'm just making a note for myself.
Uh huh.
Professor also knows that the Icker uh has a match in a stable sample found in a uh tune whose name he was not given.
Mhm.
Uh, who is Mad Lad, but he doesn't know that.
Mhm. Well, the stable say you for at least particular you could guess since it was Magic blood, the stable sample would have been Scratch, would have been Scribble's son since he was also a Uda Magic.
Oh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Someone not, someone is likely. Huh. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't know if he would make that assumption exactly, just because how Crystal said it was like,
Mhm.
someone might be after them and they're a child, and like he already knows who Scratch is, so he just thinks like,
Yeah.
well, there's
That
this unknown other party.
yeah, and that's what also you get from say also from the inside. It's like yeah, you know there is another party involved, but say Luma is not gonna be telling you this willingly. It seems
Mm-hmm.
like.
Uh-huh. Hmm. Did they figure out how to unenchant the people bound by their contracts?
Luma nods with a little smile. Yes, we actually had help from Lynn's stagehand with that. There were people in Halloween Town that were specialized in this sort of work and curses, and they were able to free all the professors from their contracts.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Was the uh was the book and pen found that she was using to do that?
indeed. It helped them determine how to break the curse, thankfully.
Oh, good.
I don't think I.
So
Sorry, you go?
so we're trying to figure out then who else is behind this besides Umbra and why and what else they want.
Indeed. We have some leads. say thanks to stagehand and some notes that we deciphered. But
Hmm.
again, I'm not very sure if I wish to include you on those. Unfortunately, this he puts he rests his head on his hand. Unfortunately, this case runs deeper than I thought it, and for your safety, I feel like say maybe less you know, the safer you are.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. But, I mean, this sounds intriguing.
Intriguing. And he
Yes,
says this in a questioning tone.
yes. If this is deeper than it is on the surface, well, I'd love to know more. See if there's anything I can do. Figure it out.
Hmm. What's your specialty?
Specialty. Ah, I'm hmm, more of a jack of all trades, a Renaissance man.
Hmm.
Don't know that I'm a bard if you meant magically, but specialty. I mean, I kind of just know a little bit of everything.
I see. And you need
And
a bit. Sorry, you go.
oh, and I have been involved in uh, cases uh, of a similar stripe before.
Why should you tell me a little bit about those cases? Or at least as much that you are able to tell me. And basically, you'll need to make a persuasion check.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, let me do that persuasion. Hmm, let's see. Da 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 da. Hmm. Is the DC gonna be pretty high?
The DC is decent. Is decent.
Okay. Because I'm considering, yeah, I think this is probably where I'm gonna use it. I have a feature that allows me to reroll one of my charisma
Oh yeah.
checks per day.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
All right. So let's see. Okay. What? Okay. That's a nat 20.
Okay. That.
Plus 12.
Oh yeah. That will do it. That will more than do it.
Oh my goodness. I was just hoping for a better dice than like dice number than 7.
Yeah. How do you describe to me how say the professor
Mm,
convinces say not Doctor Luma, Chief Luma?
yeah, yeah. I think he describes like something that happened not something from like his stay here on Satori. Not that he'll say that, but like he will describe like a case or two even wherein like uh some secret society was involved or like rogue faction and or like corruption or something, and it like went very deep and was like really dangerous, and he was pivotal in uh uh basically solving it and keeping people safe.
Yeah, as Chief Luma listens to this, his head is still on his hands, and it's just like he really much has a poker face as he's just listening to everything. And when you're finally done talking, he gives a little nod. I see. Then perhaps, maybe I can say show you the file.
Mm.
As he goes at his desk, and you hear multiple clicks and clacks, and you say, I feel like it would be obvious to the professor. It's just like, yeah, there's this desk has some hidden compartments.
Yeah, he would infer that.
As he takes out a case file, as the case as the case reads on top of it, case 100311.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, like I said, this case goes deeper. This right here is what has been passed on to basically every police chief almost since the beginning of the city. We've, we have we have called it the forbidden case.
Oh, an old case.
He nods. It dates past the start of this dates past Umbra's time, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, he then takes out a scroll from this portfolio case as he pushes it over to you.
Hmm. Uh, he'll open it.
As he opens it, you read a list of names. I say this particular one seems to be police, detectives, and chiefs, and each one has different rank. It's listed the different ranks, how old they were, when they died, but this is
Hmm.
basically a list of the dead, and chief is like, that is every police officer, detective, and chief who has died on this while trying to figure out this case. And you can even tell as you like keep unfurling the scroll, this is like almost an army's worth of
Hmm.
of police and detectives. And this is just in body count for our own. The victims, well, there's a separate longer list for that.
Incredible. Does the public?
No, this if the public knew about this, there would be a mass panic. And unfortunately, it has been such a long case that, and very much sporadic, that we have thought over time to keep it quiet.
Hmm. They haven't noticed the turnover.
No, and that's on purpose.
Hmm.
Right now, no one has been working on this case, and that was basically because of while I became in say when I became police captain, there was a lot that I wanted to change for the better. And even though I knew of this case, if we I do say if we had any chance of trying to figure out this case, our own stations would have to be upgraded and what's the word? Streamlined effectively to even
Hmm.
have a remote chance.
Hmm. And what, you don't think your system's ready yet?
I'll, I did not say I did not think it would be just yet. It's very close, but unfortunately, the Umbra case. Well, unfortunately, he sort of like shows him the case. It's just like
Hmm.
basically they even though his system could possibly be good enough to figure out this case, there hasn't been any new leads in a long time,
Hmm.
and this is just what I'm say no leads for a long time, and well, unfortunately, with Umbra being most say very very much a part of this case. If the person behind this was able to get to the university, into the top of the university,
Hmm.
we do not know who else may be involved.
Right.
Even though my system may be up for the task, unfortunately, there's a high probability that it's corrupted within the system itself. We don't know who to trust.
Mm. Mhm. What do we know? Uh, are there uh, any known agents? Do we know? Is there a pattern in the manner of deaths? Are we suspecting a large group of people or a few individuals?
We know,
Magic, mundane.
say, we have cracked some partial codes to this case with some new leads, thanks to
Hmm.
Detective Stagehand. Very resourceful, say, young lady.
So I've heard.
Oh, yes, honestly, I'm surprised that you haven't met her already.
Just shrugs.
He nods. The victims, the victims are ones that have connections to the university or are just in general very highly intelligent. All all having a connections within their realm of study, which is toon biology inc, along with studies in half toon biology. No signs of
Okay.
struggle. The closest that we have gotten to describing their death was cardiac arrest.
Hmm.
But all the ichor was there in the body, on the body.
Hmm.
All
Oh.
parties have been, killed at night. And we have also deduced that they were all near some connection to the sewers.
Hmm. All
And
right.
we have had one more note. He then takes out a very worn, journal. This journal
Hmm.
has been passed down to keep records of notes between the people who have been working on this case.
Hmm.
One of these one of these notes apparently was hidden in cipher in a different language that is not common in Inkwell. Goblin.
Hmm. Yeah, not a terribly large goblin population here.
But the language is not used that often, and it was
Hmm.
also hastily written within a cipher. For the longest time, we thought it was just ran, ravings of a detective who gone mad. But
Hmm.
within her madness, we have deciphered a message. As he turns the page to read out the message, I fear death is near. My my Heed my warning. True eyes see the truth. It's a cancerous mass that has consumed the underground. The blind will always perish.
Oh man, Professor just leans back from the notebook and just grins so wide at Chief Luma.
Luma basically silently gives you a motion of the hand and says, "Go on."
True eyes. Uh did you uh have you got an idea for that one?
We don't know if it's a red herring or not, but my first instinct was true sight could possibly be be involved. The the particular detective that wrote this down did have some levels in artificer as well as being a rogue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well. true sight's not a easy ability to come by, but I mean, it's not difficult enough if you're a particular class, but well, in this manner, I can certainly be of assistance to you.
You say you have true sight on you.
Uh, very limited, sort of skewed version of it, but yes.
In what way?
Well, I can't see very far with it, but here, let's see. Uh, I'm gonna do my funny roll. Oh, God.
Oh
Oh, the
boy.
timing. It's not working. He's not able to tune into it. So he just sort of like looks around the office, uh, and like his grin turns like a lot more like wry. Like, well, uh, I can't always manage it. Uh, but uh if I can concentrate well enough, I can see a bit beyond arm's length, maybe 5 feet. Um, you know, see most of the things that the spell True Sight, uh, True Seeing will allow you to see. So, see into the ethereal plane, see past somebody's magical disguise, see the true form of a shapeshifter, etc., etc.
I see.
Detect secret doors and the like. It's very useful when it works.
However, when it works is what concerns me. And even so, you may have true sight. I'm not very sure if I will allow you to go to the sewers.
Uh, okay. He
Though,
just
I feel like Luma can obviously tell he's like he may be going no matter what. He's just like, and he just like rubs like he doesn't have a bridge of a nose, but you feel he rubs the area that would be the bridge of his nose if he had was just like
the space between his eyes, yeah.
yeah. It's just. However, I know that I say probably couldn't stop you.
Probably not.
I highly advise not going down there alone.
Well, have you sent anybody down there at all recently?
No.
Have you got sanitation workers with experience down there, or is it just kind of abandoned?
We have sanitation workers, but from the record, they have not, well, seen anything out of the usual.
Right? Nothing's been reported, but well, if what they're looking for can only be seen with true sight, that's not surprising.
No, not surprising at all. But I also am very worried about you going down there alone. There's an accomplice that has been roaming the streets.
Oh, who is this individual?
He gives it's a black and white sketch, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
post it here.
Mm-hmm.
Eh, can I get to my folders, please, and thank you? No, that's not the folder I want. No, stop it. Here we go.
Ah, aha,
He's a lycanthrope. From
is
what
he?
from what pieces that we put together so far that I know, is say his first name is James, last name possible Heineken.
Hmm. Hmm. What's has he got some sort of special glove?
We are not sure.
Hmm. Big wrench though.
Indeed. It has, say, we say, I have possibly have a theory that he he may also be partially the reason how the or say our detectives and police agents have died, since at least in the case of the detective that you just read the note from,
Hmm.
she was squashed by
Hmm.
something.
That's horrible.
Yes. This man does
Hmm.
not play around. However, his actions have died down recently. At one time, not too long ago, he was prowling the streets openly at night
Oh.
until one of Detective Lynn Stagehand's people tried to intercept him and try to get information out of him.
Hmm. And
Apparently,
then
it did not go. It did not go well. It went better than it could. How can I describe this?
they survived.
They survived. That's a better way of
Hmm.
putting it.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, they were found out and a chase
Ah.
pursued, and that's how we found out he was a lycanthrope, a wolven one. Is
Hmm.
say he transformed to try to get at them when they were trying to escape.
Hmm. Let's see. Based on this, uh, he's real kind.
Reelkind.
All right.
However, his lycanthropy is tune in nature. So we
Really?
think another case of mixture of the bloods is happening here.
Ah, that I haven't seen.
Yes, by how much we don't. I do not know yet. I haven't. I need to get back to Lynn with that. But
Hmm.
I've been also trying to keep an eye out personally for this individual who basically went radio silent after that attack happened.
Yeah, that doesn't probably doesn't bode well. At least if he's roaming around, you can keep an eye on him, at least to a limited degree.
Yes, but unfortunately he has disappeared.
Hmm. I wonder if this individual is. Hmm. Has he been involved since the beginning? Or.
We have no idea. Despite a name and his abilities, how involved with this case he was, we are unsure, and for how long.
Mhm. Well, and if he's shrugs like part elf or something, it very well could be several hundred years old.
Possibly, but we do not have a confirmed answer of his race just yet. We appear to be some sort of humanoid. Of what nature, we have no idea.
Yes, interesting. So he's gone to ground, so to speak. Hmm. Well, I still think that looking into the sewers is probably going to give you your next lead. And I will fully admit that using the spell True Seeing, um, if you can find uh, wizard, warlock, sorcerer, cleric, bard who could do it, it is fairly high level, is going to be uh, better than mine. It's usually a range of, was it 120 feet? And it's a little more reliable.
I'm more worried about the risk to life here. As you have seen, many people have died on this case, and
Yes, I see that.
I do not wish another death if I can prevent it.
I understand where you're coming from, but we can't just ignore it either.
I know this. Unfortunately, it's a delicate situation.
Look, I'm not going to go swanning in there myself, but I expect that at some point, I and somebody else, whether you're included in that or not, are going to go down there and find out. Otherwise, you're not. This case is going to progress very slowly, and more people may die.
He's quiet. He's in deep say he's very much deep in thought right now.
Hmm.
I cannot stop you if you wish to do some investigation yourself. I would go. I wish I could go with you, but I'm afraid if something were to happen to me, that they may replace me with someone who may be on their side.
And at present, it does seem like you are the one who holds all the cards,
Yes,
which you realize is a dangerous position.
indeed.
Well, I'm not going to do it now. I don't have a team, but, well, I don't know. If something changes and I don't have something else going on, and you let me know that there's something different, then maybe that would be a good reason for me and whoever else can to go down there and make some progress. Or if that takes too long to happen, I'll get impatient and I'll just gather some people myself.
He's quiet again. He's just like I I cannot stop you. And it may is a and it may provide more information of what we need. I suggest that you talk to say Lynn. I know that she has contacts that would be say helpful in this situation. However, if you also have detectives that you believe you can trust in this matter, I would
Mm,
not say no to it either.
mhm.
I also have the spell True Sight. I am that high of a level as a soul caster.
Oh,
However, unfortunately, the last thing we need is for my position to be compromised. And
yes, unfortunately.
he goes over and is a he goes behind the desk from around the desk and over to you and places a hand on your shoulder.
Hmm.
I say, whoever you get involved, make sure they know the dangers. Or if you are foolish enough to go for yourself, make sure you keep a distance. As he casts True Sight on you. Or True Seeing, technically, that's what the spell is.
Yes. All right. I don't think there's a save for this. I think you just do it.
Mm-hmm. If it's a willing creature.
Oh, oh, well, you're casting it on
No, he's casting
wait.
it on the professor.
Oh, okay. Um, that is not what he expected.
Yeah, it's more like he's in Luma looks away from you. It's just that whatever your choice is say I will not say on the record I allow it. But if you wish to go alone or wish to bring a group, is say it is your choice. But you only have an hour.
Mm. Oh boy. Can you give me an entrance? A map.
I can give you one say I can give you the most recent map, and there is possibly some leads down there, mainly to the older parts of the sewer system. If I had to take a wild guess,
How how far down to the first level? Would I be able to dimension door out of there? 500 feet?
you should be able to.
Good. Then that's my exit strategy. I don't expect to be long, just want to scout a little bit.
He nods. Just be careful.
Always.
And do not worry. From what I've heard from Scrambles, that you really prefer to keep your privacy. Don't worry, even though I have made notes, this will be off the record. Your information will be technically off the record.
I appreciate that. Genuinely.
Yes. I'll make a file for you, and I'll make a copy if any of your detective friends would like one too, just in case of emergencies.
Hmm. Yes, I can I'll let you know who can have a copy of that.
Yes. He gives a nod and goes back to his desk.
Well, Professor is going to uh basically like hop out of his chair and stretch. Ta-ta!
He nods. Goodbye. Oh yes, I almost forgot. I forgot one thing upon your is say on your record. What
Hmm.
is say how old are you?
Hmm. Could you just write down old?
He gives a cock of the eyebrow and say and sort of looks down up and down at the professor. It's just like, are you part elf or something?
Or something.
I'm not gonna get it out of you, Aren't I?
No.
He writes. He just sighs. You can see him write down old.
All right. Uh, I may see you again soon.
We'll see.
And he's going to leave. He only has an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he'll
All right.
pass the secretary.
She
It
gives
was a
a
lovely meeting. Bye.
have a good day, dearie. As she gives you a little wave.
Thank you. You too.
And I need you to make 3 survival rolls.
Excellent. Okay. let's see. My survival is a +2. So that's going to be 16, 12, and 12.
All right. 16, 12, and 12.
Mm-hmm.
As a, give me a D100.
Ooh, absolutely. Let's see. Where is my other? Oh, is it this one? Yes, it is. Okay. Uh, that is. Remind me, when there's a 0 on one of them, that's a
De-
100 something, isn't it?
Depends. Give me a pick of the dice. Because it's hard to
One, yeah, one says 40, the other says 0.
Okay, so you get a 40.
Okay, okay, I see.
All right.
That trips me up.
No, I say that's understandable. All right. And I need to make a roll for myself.
Mm-hmm. Let me just, let's see.
Yeah,
Uh,
dice.
I think, yeah.
No, I say rolled is a my dice rolled out of my tray.
Oh, I think Professor would give himself a casting of motivational speech.
Remind me what that
Uh,
does.
yeah. It is also an hour. It just takes a minute to cast. Um, up to 5 creatures. He can do it on himself. Duration, 5 temp hit points, and advantage on wisdom saving throws, as long as those are up. And also, I can do if I get hit and I still have HP, temp HP, I can do a um advantage on a hit back. So just doing it at 3rd level, um, so I only get 5 temp HP.
All right.
Here, let me see if I can unmute it. Yeah, it's in AI, so I don't think it'll. If I just copy and I paste it, there it is.
There we go. Motivational speech. Just right now. Within saving throws, if the creature. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you would like to cast?
That's a good question. I do have time. Let me see. Uh, I don't think he's going to cast light until he gets to a point where he can't see, but he has dark vision, so he's okay. Um, uh, let's see. Detect evil and good is concentration. Detect thoughts is concentration up to a minute. I don't think he's going to do that one. I think he'll do detect evil and good because it's concentration up to 10 minutes. Let's see. Do you have the dice bot that does spells in here?
No, I do not. But I know
Okay.
of the spell, and I need you to roll those survivals again, and this will be at your advantage.
Okay. Detect evil and good. That's oh, I don't have to do it at that level. I can do it at 1st level. Um, so again with advantage or just roll
Roll one
again
more
for
time.
those 3? Okay, roll one. Got it. Okay. First one, second one. Let's see. And one more. And add my bonus, so that becomes that, add my bonus, that becomes that, add my bonus, that becomes that. Uh, so this is my second set. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I assume you're taking the best out of those two
Yes.
sets.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that'll be, I'll just do that real quick.
So a
16, 17,
16 and
and
a 14.
12. 16, 17, 12. Because it was in that order.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Here's how this plays out.
Mm.
As you go through the sewers and stuff, and you say you search through the sewers, you say a lot of it does look like it's on the map.
Mm-hmm.
However, you do get like pings of something wrong. And
Mm.
this is how you sort of navigate as you go through the sewers and you go to like where, say, Chief Luma has instructed would be the older parts of the sewers. You get, say, you get pings from detect evil and good.
Mm.
However, you say you get it right away, but then it like reclines, like it gets within 30 feet and it just reclines,
Mm-hmm.
and you sort of follow that, and that's your survival, say your survival rules, and you follow it pretty good. And how far is your true sight again?
Uh, let's see. The true sight you cast on me is
60.
120.
Right, 120.
My true sight is 5 feet melee
Yeah, I just
range.
need to remind myself, say get up. Yeah, yes, 120 feet. So you see it before you, say you see it before you feel detect evil and good again,
Mm-hmm.
because this is something that is obviously wrong.
Mm.
As you basically went, say you almost like get to a part of the map that is not on the map. Like you
Mm.
follow this detect evil and good, and like you it's always been out of sight. Like you couldn't see it because like it's something very small or very nimble. You're not very sure what.
Mm.
But it's just kept out of your sort of line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to this part of the sewer system that isn't on the map. And have you ever played Stray?
I have. Or no, I haven't played it. I've watched somebody play it. I know it though.
You know the underground portion of Stray that definitely you would know about deeper in
I
the
know about,
game when you get to the full like nest.
yeah, I know about the nasties.
You get you see it right away as you basically you don't see any eyes. But
Mm.
basically it almost looks like flesh on the
Mm-hmm.
walls and ceilings, and say even in the waterway, even though the water's flowing, and say in this whole tunnel, it goes back as far as you can see, which in
Mm-hmm.
dark vision is whatever your dark vision is on top of your true sight.
60.
60. So 60 feet of dark vision is you see this black ichorous like flesh cling to, say, cling into the walls of the sewer system that doesn't even look like a sewer system anymore.
Mm. Man. Oh boy. What's the range on my mage hand? 30 feet. Uh, uh, hmm. Is it blocking the way, or does it seem to be moving in a way that it's gonna react and like get me if I get too close?
You're not sure You would have to make an investigation check
I could
or
do that.
arcana check.
Investigations more. Okay, that is gonna be a 19.
You get a feeling that by the way it is moving, this is something that is still alive.
Mhm.
You don't know how far it goes back, but this is looks to be like something that is currently living and could possibly react to you touching it.
Mhm. Oh, oh man. Uh, okay. I'm gonna tell you what he wants to do, and you tell me what I need to roll to try and do it.
All right.
What he wants to do, is huge mage hand, and the knife on his multi-tool, basically just a dagger flavored. Um, because mage hand can like hold items that are up to, is it 1 pound or 10 pounds? I think it's 10
10
pounds.
pounds.
10, yeah. Um, use mage hand with the dagger to reach out and really quickly try and cut down a piece, like cut a piece loose, and then grab it, uh, and then like back off as much as he can to cast Dimension Door and get the heck out of Dodge.
Hmm.
He wants to take a sample.
This needs to be a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Oh boy, okay.
And I need to make a roll too.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's too bad it's with disadvantage, man. I mean, uh, it's a 12.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. The moment that you say as your mage hand goes over to cut a piece of whatever this is out from out from this thing, the moment the blade starts to carve into the is it this flesh,
Mm-hmm.
there are eyes everywhere looking straight at you, and I need you to make a dex. I need not dex, a athletics saving throw.
Uh,
Not athletics check because this thing is trying to grapple
yes.
you as basically say fleshy tentacles go out and reach you.
It's a 25.
All right, give me 1 second.
I love my athletics.
Ooh, wait.
If you're still able to nab him, I do have uh a
You
plan.
say he isn't able to nab you because he has a little bit. Say this thing has a little bit lower strength than you as the say as the pseudo arms say tentacles leash out you. You're able to jump back. Say
Mm-hmm.
jump back, and you hear a voice. Well, well, well. And this is like telepathy in your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of you. We didn't think that we would see you this soon.
Hi.
Hello. You're one of the ones that took down my dragon. As you can sort of see the fleshy wall creep forward as the eyes that are or say the eyes are looking at you, and it's sort of like a demon eye as they all look
Mm.
at you. Red demon eye that is like the iris is red, but so is like the white part of it. It's like tinted slightly red itself.
Oh, I love this. This reminds me of Resident Evil. Man. Um, did he get any of it?
No.
Oh. Um, he's gonna how far is he from it? 30 feet probably because he
30
was
feet.
using Mage Hand.
Yes.
Okay.
However, is it let's see. I need to check the save on this. You need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Good, I have advantage because of uh, motivational speech. Wisdom saves, yep. Woohoo. Please be good. Okay, that's an 18.
Alrighty. 1 second, I need to double check the. That's it. Meets it beats it as you feel
Hmm.
like something tried to crawl into your mind to read your thoughts, but you're able to shake it off. And whatever is looking at you, say you can't tell because it doesn't have a mouth, but
Hmm.
with the expressions on the eyes, it looks like it's smiling. Not to be expected from someone who took down a dragon. You're pretty strong.
Yeah. So who are you?
None of your concern. But what I
I don't
will
know.
tell you is that you say that you made a grave mistake coming alone. As you say, let's see. It's gonna try to grapple you again.
Oh man. Okay. I think after this, he's gonna try to leave because he's been pushing his luck.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay. So should I roll athletics again then?
Yes.
All right.
And I had the DC that you need to beat.
Yes. Well, I may not, but that's okay. I have a plan. That's just a 12. Pretty low for
Yeah,
professor.
the tentacles spring out again, and you say you're grappled by this thing as it just feels so uncomfortable. It is so
Ugh.
cold, and I need you to make another wisdom saving throw neutrally because
Oh
this thing
man.
has advantage once it grabs you.
Oh man. Um, uh, does it get to do that automatically, or can I get a bonus action in?
It does it automatically.
Okay, it's part of the grapple. All right, fine.
Yes.
All right then. With save. Oh no, no, Professor, that's a two.
The
Oh no.
moment it grabs you, you feel like there's an invasion of your mind as it sorts through all your memories.
Oh,
As it gets deeper and deeper, it it looks amused. Like it then looks surprised, but then this creeping smile from the eyes flick on your face like, now you are very interesting. I thought you were just a plain human, but no, Valacrayan. Interesting. And that you're able to cheat death.
okay. We're gonna we're gonna
You
do.
may be exactly what I need.
We're gonna Misty Step 30 feet backwards from where we are. Uh, Away from this thing. Uh, so bonus action Misty Step. And if you allow it, action dimension door. Full, um, full range, 500 feet, up just to get out.
Need to check something really quickly.
Mm. Because Misty Step does get you out of a grapple, because it's teleportation. And you
Mm-hmm.
also don't get a opportunity attack because it's a teleportation.
Yes. And it would be your turn since it did take an action.
That was my,
So,
yeah.
alright. You are able to get is you are able to misty step out of there, but
Yes.
but unfortunately I say you can't do a first level spell twice. In my games, I know some people do, but it's like if it's over first level, all you can do is a
Oh,
cantrip.
oh, oh, okay, yeah, no, I see what you mean. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I can't cast another spell unless it's a cantrip, but I could do a different action.
Yes.
Um, in that case, uh, we are going to take the dash action, and run, um, 60 feet, uh, in the same trajectory, just away,
All right.
just to buy time until my next turn.
So you're 60 feet away now.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And while he was grappled and
Mhm.
getting his mind invaded, he was probably just like, struggling and thrashing, like, oh, he is pissed off at this thing.
There's no use to
But
run. You might as well come willingly, as you need make another wisdom saving throw. And
oh
thankfully, you
man,
get advantage again.
yeah, because I'm not grappled. All right. Oh, all right. This is no, wait, that's not right. No, it was an 8. I mistyped.
Okay.
That was on me.
No, you're fine.
Right.
Any modifiers to that, buddy?
Uh-uh.
Oh.
I know.
So, you have been dominated person.
Uh,
As is a you are charmed as this thing is a as this thing basically latches into your mind again. And I need to fully read the rest of it because I'm just like,
mhm.
you come back here right now. We have a lot of experimenting to do.
Oh man. Well, then I imagine he stops
Yes.
and stands up and turns around and
Mm-hmm.
starts walking back towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I need to check something.
hmm
I need to check something to see how the saving throw is. I haven't used this spell in a long time. I say,
hmm
say if you take it. I'm trying to read this one little part. It's just like, okay, does he get the saving throw afterwards, or it is just truly 1 minute?
Uh, well, if you're casting it at fifth level, it
Yeah, it's only one
seems
minute.
like it
Yeah,
just ends. Yeah.
yeah. It just ends as you say you get out of it, but only to be grappled again.
Mm. Oh,
Just
this really isn't necessary.
as this thing like after a minute because once when you were trying to person it grappled you and basically has like is now pulling you back into its lair
Oh
and
my goodness. Um, Wait, if it dominate person is gone, can I use dimension door?
you can do that.
Okay, I would like to do that. Uh, just 500 feet straight up.
All right, I say you need to make a luck roll. To
Oh,
see where you come up specifically.
yeah, sure. Is that just a D20?
No, D100.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
got
this
it.
is a D100 roll.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of luck rolls. Where's my other dice? I had
Like
it here
luck
a
is
second
usually
ago.
is sometimes D20, but in this case it's a D100.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there it is. I keep confusing it with the other dice. Okay, that is a 17.
So you say you cast Dimension Door, and this thing is cocky. Is a thinks it got you in its grip over the dominate person, and it has led you back to a good ways from where you were before, to a point
Mm-hmm.
where there originally was a say something like it was leading you to something, and you can make you can make a perception check really quickly.
Mm. Well, it makes sense that he doesn't roll very well because this is not going great for him, but he gets a 6.
Yeah, you are too frantic of trying to get out of this thing's grip as this thing is taking you very much off the beaten trail and even
Mm-hmm.
deeper down into its lair. Like you were very afraid for a second that this dimension door was not gonna work at all because of
Mm-hmm.
how deep you are now starting to head.
Yeah.
And you pop up in the middle of a street, and you immediately need to make a dexterity saving throw as cars are screeching to a stop.
Uh-huh. Well, I got a nat 20. Plus 6. Nice.
Yeah. How do you want to describe dodging these cars?
Uh, Probably just uh, like, probably just uh, ends up like from the teleport because he doesn't know where he's gonna be. It just ends up like dropping to his hands and knees just to be on a surface and then just like rolling out of the way until he's off the street and can get up properly.
And you were just panting as
Absolutely.
this thing definitely knows some higher magic than you, as high as magic as you,
Uh-huh, and more.
possibly more.
Yeah.
But as of right now, you are currently safe.
Mm-hmm.
As you say, what does the professor do next?
He takes a second to catch his breath, and then he gets up, and he's going to jog straight to the office.
All right. As you do that, we slowly pound downward back to where this thing was. As the moment you disappear, it does a hissing yell, like hisses and yells. She's like,
Mm.
"Damn you!" sort of settles down. No matter. This is why we have a hunting dog. As it like smiles again. I'm sure that. Sorry, I need a drink really quickly.
Mm.
I'm sure the hunting dog will have a fun time with this one. And who, and who knows? Maybe we can cancel, say, this hero plotline once and for all. As the eyes sort of like close and get back into this, say, back to the walls being just this fleshy black ooze,
Mm.
and we're left as the screen fades out with a haunting, it's a haunting high pitched laugh. And
Oh boy.
and that's where we're gonna end the 12 FPS.
Oh my gosh.
There's many inspirations to this, to this evil person, and I'm gonna say, and we're gonna talk about that later. You probably already
Mm.
guessed some inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Woo! Well, that was an adventure. And
Yes.
I look forward to the continuation.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening in on this 12 FPS, and we hope you have a good time zone.
Hmm.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.